The minimum income standard is the income that the public say you need in order to have a minimum socially acceptable standard of living in the UK. What that means is having the money you need in order to have food, clothes and shelter, but also the opportunities to participate fully in social life in the UK. We've undertaken research into MIS since 2006, so just over 11 years, and over that time we've seen some interesting things happen with regard to the ways in which people define what you need as a minimum. For instance, when we first started, not a lot of people said that you needed a computer, but society has changed, and now groups of the members of the public in the UK say that you do need that in order to fully participate in life.
So through MIS we want to achieve a better understanding of living standards that are publicly defined by society. So we want to understand this idea of what living standards should be as defined by society, and to have some impact as well on the policies that affect people's lives. It could be through income, it could be through government support, any other kind of support, to have this understanding and to have an impact on real life, on the standard of living of people in the UK. So the minimum income standard is generally accepted by society because it's a living standard that has been defined by consensus through members of the public. More than that, there's impact, policy impact that is real and is tangible. The most prominent example is the living wage, which is a higher wage paid in the UK that is voluntary and is paid for by more than 3,500 employers throughout the UK, and it's a growing movement, and the work and the rate of the living wage is basically derived directly from the work that we do with MIS. There's other uses, for example, charities, and the Scottish Government recently announced that fuel poverty is directly based on MIS as well. So the outreach of the work that we're doing with MIS is very important and has an impact on real life.
The Minimum Income Standard programme of research and the approach has been used in a variety of different countries, most recently in France and Portugal, where they've used this research to estimate the income you need in those countries for a minimum standard of living. We've also been working with a team in Singapore, focusing on the needs of older people, and developing work in Thailand, looking at the needs of young children. Last year, in 2016, we undertook some pilot research in South Africa and Mexico, exploring the extent to which the approach that we've taken in other countries can be used in these countries which are, by any measure, more unequal than the UK. And what we found was, generally speaking, this approach can be applied in those countries.